Alright, we are good to go. So the first thing that I see, um, no, no, it's not the manual. One second. There we go. So when you press escape to bring up these menus, you can't press settings or cancel from your main screen here. Game manual, you can't click, and resume is also not able to be clicked. So I'm not sure why uh I can't interact with any of these, but that's an issue that can be addressed later, since when you're in game you can bring up these menus and do them there. Alright, so stuck on set. So this is like a brochure that you would hand out to people. So it gives us all of our scenes. That's where the demo ends. Alright. Weather, high 55, low 25, 30 to 50% chance of showers. Location, subway tunnels. Alright.
Ready.
I need to pick this up before it goes away. Oops. So the one thing I am seeing here is I'm losing track of my mouse. Ooh, someone's home. So I'm losing track of my mouse while I'm playing. Part of that issue is because I stop moving when I'm shooting, and I tend to keep trying to move my mouse, so I lose track of it. I'm looking to where I think it should be, not where it stopped at. All right, upgrades. So this would be good. All right. Ooh, I got hit there. So the top. Oop, I want to get out. So the top sign here is in the way. So it's not bad when you're not almost directly underneath it, or just by it in general, but I wasn't able to see there, which kind of disrupted things. So if the signs on this side and this side could be maybe moved back to out here to where they wouldn't be in the way and blocking things, that would be nice. Alright. Director's inspiration. So, player bullets travel 50% slower but remain alive double their time. Or the Joker. How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make one of your scripts disappear, gain 10. Nah, I don't like that one. I guess we'll go with that one. Critical hit threshold. Conserve ammo for the next 0.5 seconds after an enemy kill. Alright, that's not bad. Reroll 50. So variable impact, fluctuate plus or minus 20%. Kill 2 hearts after clearing every encounter. Dashing leaves behind a small explosion. That one's pretty good. We'll re-roll. Try and get something better. Cue the charges. Explosive exit. Release a cluster of 3 small explosions. Caltrops. Trap tolerance. Player and enemies take 30% less damage from trap. Ooh, that hits double-sided. We'll do the caltrops. Alright. Oh, that's right. I have super slow bullets. So I won the challenge. Alright. So variable impact. Fleeting fortune, peak power, and deflecting dash. So I really don't like this. Obviously it's set up for a build where you never get hit. But right now it's just completely useless, which means unless I'm late game build, you're never going to take this one. So that one.
Ready.
Proceed. Reloading. It is nice that it gives it a bit of a knockback. Oh, I just realized now that this guy's stuck. That's a bug. So ooh, I'm not paying attention. He's stuck up here. Can I even hit him? I can hit him. He got stuck up there. I'm not sure how. Yeah, and now it's completely bugged.
Ready.
I don't think there's any way that I can... Yeah, there's no way that I can get this. So I'm gonna have to cancel. Alright, there's a bug. So he started up on top of... No, I can't even say he started up. I'm not sure where he started. But he was up on top of the tunnel. He was above the tunnel, and then I shot him, and it shot him outside of the arena. And then I couldn't shoot him after that. Alright, let's try this again. So one thing I would also like to see is maybe a little bit bigger cursor, or a different cursor maybe, so you could differentiate between where your cursor is at. 'Cause I am losing my cursor from time to time. Ooh, stay off the railroad.
Ready.
Alright, pick up all those. So I also have to remember that what it says on the card, there's also a secondary effect on the left side there I have to look at. So, life drain, nor. Life drain, adventure. Sure, let's go that. Having a little bit of heal on everything would be nice.
Ready.
Bit of kiting to get him into that. Oop, I gotta remember to pick up my particles. Alright. Did I heal there? Hmm. I don't think I took damage that round. Michael Bay. Explosions are stronger. Darkest property of the full blood prince. Um, so stronger explosions or a lingering curse that does damage over time. Enemy strikes are dulled by the scourge by 40%, but a lingering curse. So it wouldn't be bad. So it takes instant damage into dot damage. We'll go with Michael Bay. Love me some Michael Bay. Ooh, that synergizes well. So I can move now. Yes, that annoyed me. Alright, what else? So, did it automatically re-roll for me there? Or did it just populate new ones since I bought them all? Uh, so credit missile and I have explosion, so that one would work well. Alright, we'll exit. Call it a day. Yes, I can finally move. I need to pick up my scripts. Need to remember to activate my trap. Wait, was I not supposed to take damage there, or? I didn't look at it. Shoot. Oh, well, that's not fun. But on the other hand, though, too, I can just use this thing as damage dealer. Oop, dang it. So I can blink through them. Man, these reloads take forever. Alright. Wait, how did he hit me there? Oh, it's the generator that's malfunctioning. It wasn't him that hit me. So he only has a set distance that he can shoot that. So it's not like I could be sitting back here and he could hit me. Yeah.
Ready.
Ooh, come on. Reload, reload, reload. Dang it, I got hit there. Where is... Oh, he's right here. So I had 21 health, now I have 26. So I did go up a bit, so that seems to be working. Oh, this is not good. Oh, I almost let a spike trap take me out there. That second to last burst should have hit him.
Ready.
So the spread at what the bullets are flying, like I understand that they can't just be in a straight line. But I wish every time I let off the trigger, that it reset the spread. Alright, so I survived for 8 minutes. I used 67 extras, 1200 credit gain, 2400 damage, 130 absorbed. Alright. So that was Old Painless. Let's do the shotgun. So you interstate, so it freezes me, so I can't move. I don't like that. Oop. All right. So we got a little V here. Shotguns are definitely, yeah. So you almost want to be as close as you can for shotguns. Ooh, dang it. Oh, dang it. I fucking dashed right into that one. So the shotgun is definitely more powerful, but you got to get up and up close and personal. Um. Okay, that's not bad. All right. Dang it! I stepped on the trap. I was like right on top. How did that not hit me? Again, same thing with like the pattern here. It's so some of them go straight and then the others go like off to the side. Can I not step in traps, please?
Ready. Ready. Ready.
Alright. That's a pretty crappy round. I don't want that. Enemies radiate healing like a miracle from coffee. Choose to heal yourself at the cost of a script. I'll go with that one. So dealing damage. Yes. Alright. Yes, increased magazine size for a shotgun. That is goated. Ooh, healing, yep. I'll take that. So, I'm in the shop right now. I'm at 63. To deploy 3 small traps instead of 1, 15% chance to instantly kill enemies after dealing damage. That's... Oh, I only have 70 left. Dang it. I can't get that then. Okay. We'll move on. Alright, this level again. Survive. I won my challenge. First bullet after reload, so deals more damage. Conserve ammo for 0.5 seconds after an enemy kill. Yes. I really don't like it where it slows the bullets down. Still haven't taken the hit yet, so not bad. Whoop, whoop. Almost took one there. Dang it. Alright, ended up taking damage. Not what I wanted. Ooh, so right there. So, I can't say that it unpaused the game there, but it definitely looked like that's what happened when I was going from this menu to menu. Oh. So I shifted, or phased through a wall there, kind of. Do it again. There I went. So, I can't... Can I shoot? So I can shoot through. So that's a big game breaking, because I'm technically outside the map. but he stopped trying to attack me, and I could shoot through the wall there. So, exploding pincushion or more HP. We'll go with exploding pincushion. Alright, so dashing reflex bullets. So, another one of this. So, I'll take that. Shotgun has an increased spread by 100%. I don't think this is good. We'll take it in anyway. Alright, so the other thing is, like, I get that I have like 700 script to spend, but I feel like I should kind of be gated to what I can buy here. Because that's 9 scripts that I could be spending on to. So if I would buy every single one each time, I would get 9 total. Obviously, if I leave some out and then have to re-roll, I would get less. But still, having access to this many scripts kind of seems game breaking. All right. Yes, I want that one. That one. I'll re-roll once more. I'll take a damage reduction. Let's back up. Like, what is the spread? Like, when I first started shooting, the spread was decently even. And now it's kind of janky. Like, that one was okay. Having a more consistent spread, so the player will know how the projectiles are going to come out and where they're going to be at. This whole having a set, how to say it, um, it's kind, it's it's kind of like you have set profiles of how the projectile will go when coming out, and it's put in to make it feel, I would say, like random, um which honestly is off-putting. I'd rather have a consistent shot spread that does the same thing every single time instead of being random, because it gives me the predictability of I know how it will react when I press my mouse button to fire. To where as I also understand that shotguns are meant for close range and not like far, but still, like, there's 4 on the right, 1 on the left for that spread. That one was decently even. There was a bit of gaps there. Then that one, they're more focused to the right and left. That one heavily focused to the right and left. Like, I understand that shotguns are meant for up close and they're not really meant for range, but that inconsistent shot spread to simulate randomness is really off-putting. Survive for 30 seconds. Take no damage. Well, I lost the challenge. Oh, that's right. The enemies explode. Alright, and that was the whole demo. Alright, well there's a bug then, because I'm obviously taken back to the main screen, but I don't have the menus. Yeah. So obviously right now you were at what the main screen area had when I first launched the game, but it doesn't have the menus. I have to X out, cancel the shoot, and now it brings everything back up. So that's a bit of a bug. I reached the end of your demo, and then when it should have brought me back to the screen that's currently on, it just brought me back to one that didn't have anything and I can move around in. What are we at? We're at 36 minutes. All right, go again. So we'll do the Sentinel. I haven't tried that yet, and we'll try the Freeze. All right.
Ready.
So this one's not bad. Ooh. I kind of prefer the shotguns over this one. So, let's see. All right, so it gave me the two of the upgrades that are the same here. This should never happen. I should always have a different upgrade, and I should never be able to get the same one unless I'm to the point in a playthrough where I have bought in every single other choice and say like this is the last one left, so it would populate all 4 spots, and then once I would buy this one, then there's nothing left that I could buy. Hmm. So so this does nothing for me because my bullets spin around me. So I guess we'll go with the dome.
Ready.
And spawn in a dome. Excuse. Oh, what? Oh. All right. Shoot. All right. So spawn a damage dome at your location and deals tick damage to enemies inside it. Hold to grow it.
Ready.
So actually for what I'm playing, this damage dome is great.
Ready.
remember to use my ability.
Ready.
Also, I can't move when I'm charging that up. Pick up my tickets. Picked everything up there. That could be interesting. But I don't know if I necessarily like, because they spin around me, and if they're traveling 50% slower, we'll try it. Same thing again, it gave me two of the same there. That should not happen. So, go with that. Again. Oh, I guess these are different. Never mind. I could have missed that. Alright, there's no point in re-rolling. It says I have two challenge lost. I don't remember seeing no enemies. And I died. Oh, but that one there at the end wasn't bad. Um, so with the bullets coming around me, I thought it was like, let's see. So the bullets lasted longer. Oh, but they would fly. Their speed would fly less. So at the end there though, it looked like they were about standing still. Like obviously they weren't, but they were going so slow there that it looked like they were standing still. So I feel like that's a bug because when you first started, they would tend to go around you at a pretty decent speed. So I feel like something was messed up there. Um, I'm not quite exactly sure what though. All right, let's see. But I've gone through everything. So this, the sphere is nice. shotgun. So the shotgun and the spear are really the similar play style, whereas Old Painless you can play more of a ranged. But then we get back into the thing of consistency of the bullet spread when firing. Um, I feel like the inconsistency put in there is made to so it looks like it's random, but honestly, it's really not. And I'd like to see that change to where every time you fire, you're going to consistently know how the projectiles are going to re- react instead of having to guess where they're going to be going to. Um, it's a bullet hell. So eventually it might get to the point where that doesn't even matter. But in the beginning rounds, which usually can be a pain in the butt to get through depending on difficulty, having that consistency instead of randomness of the bullet spread could help you immensely. Uh, so the trap, um, I'd like to see the trap activate faster. What does it say? It just says lay it down and wait. So it feels like I put it there, and it should activate faster. Um, and freeze. Whoops. Oh, 1.5 seconds. So I really don't have thoughts on this. So I had it so it did tick damage. That was an upgrade. So these both are just okay items. There's nothing that really stands out to me to say this one is really good or this one is better than the other. These are just like generic to me right now. Like the ability excuse me. The freeze would actually outweigh the trap because it has the functionality that once it goes up, it will reflect incoming projectiles. Whereas in the trap, it can only be placed a certain distance from you, and it takes, I'm guessing, 3 seconds after you place it down to set up for it to activate. Which, unless you're almost kiting enemies in circles, it's it's not going to save you from an enemy being on top of you. Whereas this it can save you with an enemy being on top of you, and even though you're frozen for 1.5 seconds, you hit it, hold it. Well, excuse me, holding it was an upgrade. So you hit it and you're sat there not taking um you might so I'm not sure because I didn't really run into it. You might be able to take melee damage because the enemies can walk into it, but it reflects in the bullets. So right now, as a utility standpoint, the freeze ability here out it outperforms the trap in my opinion. Now, I understand that eventually you can upgrade the trap to be able to do different things, but still, the point of having to place that trap down and then wait X seconds, it's it's kind of long. I would like to see like maybe you place the trap down with a 1 to 1.5 second de- delay and then it activates. The activation on the trap right now just feels too long to me to really want to take it and have it be of good utility to me. Um, at the beginning of the video, we spoke about if you bring up the exit screen, you can't You can't click on none on none of them. Um, so your manual screen here, the one thing that I would like to see is on this page. If I click on, say, traps, it'll take me straight to that page instead of having to next through everything. That these would be a reactive link where I could instantly go to them. Other than that, I really don't have nothing else. Let's go into this one. Yes. All right. Stuck on set. Review. What stuff do you have that you want? All right. The overall experience, 4 stars. Um, this can definitely improve. When you release the full game, you might have some really great stuff that just aren't available in the demo. But my overall experience is I like it. All right, how would you rate your experience with game mechanics of the demo? Um, so the mechanics would be the traps, the train, the generator, any of the upgrades that you can get. Um, Everything for what's here for the demo. Honestly, if you kept everything through, changed so everything that's in the demo was it, and for the next 10 levels, that's what I played with, I would give it 5 stars. So what you have here is excellent. So, how would you rate your experience with the game balance of the demo? All right, game balance. So, for Old Painless, you have a high capacity, low damage. For the shotgun, you have a low capacity, high damage at very, very short range. Ideally, you would want to hit every single shot with your shotgun. And then the sphere, the sentinel sphere. So your bullets hover around you. Um, I would say the balance is pretty good there. Uh, the sphere and shotgun are obviously made for close range, whereas painless is made for more of a mid range. Um, so I really don't have nothing that I can compare painless to. But for the shotgun, the damage potential up close is very high, and the sphere is also a very high damage output at close range. Uh, so game balance, your enemies are doing melee damage on top of ability damage. Your wraiths, I guess is what I would call them, are shooting a giant blob, and then they're shooting two in like a V. Let's see. Uh, you had electrified tracks. Uh, the spike traps give an obstacle. The trains running through give an obstacle. Destructive barrels and the generators that malfunction and give mini explosions. So I would say the balance is really there. You have a lot of things that are working together on both player side and the enemy side. Um, One thing that I do encounter when playing these is dying really fast. Now, granted, this is just a demo with, say, this would be the first level that I could see that you'd be going through. So complete this level, then go on to a different set because this is the subway. I believed it said. So low level. I feel like I'm doing decent damage. The damage isn't great unless you get screwed over by RNG when you're firing and your bullets completely miss. But other than that, the balance seems solid. I'm doing decent damage. I'm taking damage, but I'm not it's not like it's too much that I'm dying super fast. So I'll give game balance a 5 too. Um how would you rate your experience with the UI UX? Uh so obviously the problem here on the main screen, whereas you bring up your uh escape key, the menu, and you can't even press on any of these. Once you're in game and excuse me, once you're in game and this front message box, which is what I'm guessing is blocking this, isn't here, it works fine. But on this front page, this is your biggest problem. Uh, so all of your up top buttons worked, all of your bottom right buttons work. So menus, um, I guess I would have to go in manual. So your menus are decent. Um, Instead of being a strictly flip through, I would like to be able to click on each section here and have me brought straight to it. Discord buttons. Um, Press I to call sheet. All right, that works fine. That brought up this one settings. What was that? Why did that give me that funky reaction there? All right, so that is 100% some type of bug. So, I did change the resolution to my screen resolution, but right here, every time I'm clicking into settings, it glitches out and then comes back. And on my second monitor here, though, too, it also messes with the screen there. So it isn't just on this screen that is doing that. Display, controls. So all of these menus look good. The manual, cancel, shoot, resume. Resume works. Cancel. So the only problem with UI is, oh, I can't even do it now. Is pressing it pressing easy easy. Blah. My only problem is pressing escape and then not being able to interact with the menu that is underneath this message board when that comes up. So UI UX I would give a 4 stars. So experience with visual design of the demo. Um Visual design. So the environment, it looks decent. Uh let's see. Start shooting. So right now, I would label it as very minimalistic. So you have your walls, the tunnel, the train comes out. Um, I said before that these train signs I'd like to see moved so they're not in the way or add the point that they would be blocking something that's behind it. It's not a big deal. It's more of an annoyance. Um, so you have the section to where you would step on at the end of the level. Uh, so it's not a big deal, but I would like to see this hidden at the beginning of the level, and then once you beat the level, it shows up to like this is the platform you go to. Later on, the levels have a kind of like a green matrixy screen is how I would describe it that shows up when the level completes to whereas when it first starts it's not there. So I would like the same scene done as here. This is hidden at the beginning. Once it once it's completed, then it shows up. Um, the spike strap the spike traps little visual here. It's nice to see that hey, this is where it's at. If you step on this, you're gonna get hit by spike traps that are gonna show up. To whereas I would like to see the yellow visual. Let's see. All right. So I would like to see the square visual gone and the spike strip just there and active. If I walk into it, I'm gonna take damage. Whereas if I know I shift through it, I'm not going to take damage. So maybe something in your tutorial that you give will say, hey, you can phase through these by pressing shift, otherwise you're gonna take damage, and get rid of the orange square and have it so that the spike is shown, that we know that this is a spike strip, you're going to take damage. Um, barrels, visual. So yeah, I would give the visual design of the demo 4 stars. It doesn't look bad, but it's also not like a wow, this looks amazing. Um, so that's visuals. So power scaling. How do I feel about power scaling? So I played a little bit before I started this, try and get a feel for it. Um, played through like a round, and then obviously I played through 3 times here, dying once. Did I finish the last one? Maybe I died twice, but so I don't feel like I scaled very well. It was kind of underwhelming. Uh, Now, granted, I might not have gotten the best R and G of damage modules, so if I play this a couple more times, I might get some options that where I feel like I'm doing more damage. But at this point, I feel like I'm underpowered going into the later levels. Um, so the sphere wasn't bad. I ended up choosing one of the ones that uh they decreased the speed but increased the duration that they were there for. So it was nice, but I'd have to hold it on them for a decent amount of time before it killed them. So again, I feel like I'm underpowered even coming into the later early levels. So players power scaling, I'll give a 4. I don't feel like I'm doing like almost no damage and it's like super grindy to kill them. But then on the other hand, I don't feel like I'm just one-shotting them. Like I'm in the middle. The balance is okay, but I still it kind of feels off to me. So, how do you feel about game balancing for the enemies? All right. Um, so I call them like the wraiths, the guys that's right here. They shoot a big blob that it's a slow moving, and they shoot two projectiles at a diagonal. So those guys are okay. You have are these just melees? Yeah, so these guys are just melees, whereas later levels they'll be so they're melees and they shoot like a little spike. Um, you have toad looking dudes that come up to you and then start the explosion, which those aren't bad. I didn't really have a problem with them. So I can't really say they're overpowered, but I also can't say that you have them underpowered as well. So I'd say for enemy balancing, I would give you a 5 stars. Um, not underwhelming, not overwhelming. So core combat, and how satisfied am I with it? The combat felt fast and responsive. So honestly, this one's kind of double sided. If I'm running the sphere, then combat does not it's not fast and responsive. It's so I have to sit there, I have to shoot my gun to get the bullets up to going around me, and then I have to walk into then I have to walk into enemies to hit them. So the sphere I would say is not fast and responsive. It's a process to get going. The shotgun so the shotgun at this point in time in the build would kind of be the embodiment of fast and responsive. Like you run up to an enemy to the point that all of your bullets will hit, you press your mouse button and you hope that it just one shots them. Because a shotgun is a close combat, high damage gun. Old painless. It's kind of the bridge between the sphere and the shotgun. Um, it doesn't do a ton of damage, but you have a shit ton of ammo. So I'm I'm not going to click the combat felt fast and responsive in in the review here. Because like yes, it's there for the shotguns, but everything else it's not really there for in my eyes right now. So the next one, dodging and positioning felt important. That's definitely dodging let me get through electrified railroads, across spike traps, through enemies. Being able to reposition to set up stuff was very important, so that's definitely yes. So attacks had a strong hit in impact. Um, yes and no. Um, so obviously when you shoot and one of your bullets hit an enemy, you would hear like the pop. They would get a bit of a pushback. So, whereas when I was running the sphere, I didn't really get a pushback, but maybe more of a freeze is what I really would notice there when I was playing. Um, and then of course shotguns did same as pretty much painless. So it's a yes and a no in my perspective right now, but I'm going to check it. So enemy patterns were readable and learnable. Yes. So the frog looking guys came up to you and tried to explode right at your feet. Wraith looking either shot a big ball of plasma or two projectiles in a V. So, yep. I would say that they are readable and learnable. Builds and skill synergies felt rewarding. Um, I didn't really see it with painless and the shotguns, but how I built out the sphere gave more of that rewarding playstyle, I guess, for how because of how it's played, that you shoot the bullets and then they just spin around you. I could more easily see so I could more easily see the results uh, uh, of it, which gave me a greater satisfaction. So I would say yes, they're there. I would have to do more playing and see exactly what you offer here in the demo for best synergies and whatnot, but you definitely have it in there. So the difficulty felt fair for an action roguelite. I would agree with that. Combat became repetitive overruns. Yes. Um, Sadly, with a bullet hell and in this roguelite form, you can't avoid that. Chaotic and hard. So combat felt chaotic and hard to read. Yes and no. Um, so this really depends on what you've taken for upgrades and whatnot. Like when I was running the sphere there, I took the upgrade. When enemies die, they explode and shoot in a circle, which that caught me off guard until the point that I realized, like, oh, that's actually an upgrade that I took. And then what made it worse was there were the five turrets there that would also be shooting me. So if the five turrets shot, they killed an enemy. Their bullets were still coming towards me through the target they killed, and then that target would explode, doing I guess I would call it shrapnel of effect of the bullets flying everywhere that I would also then have to dodge, which ultimately led me to failing the challenge because I wasn't supposed to take damage. Um, so I'm gonna leave combat felt chaotic and hard unchecked. There's aspects that I encountered that I would say yes, but more regularly with what I've been playing, the answer is no. That it wasn't chaotic once you got used to it and understood what was happening. Combat felt clunky and unresponsive. I don't. Eh. So at first, yes, I had to get used to. Was the shield? The shield felt a bit clunky to where I would do my ability. I would be stuck there for the duration of it, and then I would be free to move around. So at first, yes, it was a bit clunky. I had to get used to it. once I got used to it, uh, it it became okay. Like I liked the ability because I got the upgrade to where the I was able to grow that shield and then it did tick damage. So once I got to that point, it was fine. But before that, it was just okay. So I'm gonna leave combat felt clunky and unresponsive unchecked. I'm gonna leave other unchecked. I don't really have anything right now that I can think of. So we'll move on. So how easy it was it to understand the genre and the script system? Super easy. I want to say super easy. I'd say pretty damn easy. Uh, were the default controls comfortable? Yeah, the defaults were fine. Um, WASD, shift, um, what was it? Q and E or shoot, I forget. Of course, I'm sitting here talking, and then I completely forget how the controls are for playing the game. Um, but I would say yeah, they're comfortable. They're normal to what I would find playing a game like this. Would I recommend this to others? So I would recommend the demo to try. It's enjoyable, it plays quickly, and there's enough upgrades that you can kind of vary from build to build. So I would recommend your demo 100%. I would have to wait and see on what comes out in the full game to say, yep, this is definitely one that's worth getting. Whereas saying it's just okay if it's on sale, I would consider it, but if not, then no. So I'm gonna put it as maybe, I'm not sure, for those reasons that I just described. All right. What part of the demo did you dislike or find frustrating? Please be specific and tell us if they cause boredom, frustration, or other negative feelings. So the biggest thing on this would be the front screen, this screen. Uh, he's not shooting now. So I don't remember when it was. So I was able to move my guy around here and shoot at one point in time. Maybe that was after I completed it, but now I'm not able to. Um, Same thing for shooting. I'm not able to shoot even though I'm pressing my mouse button. So that's something that's frustrating. Like obviously it's showing us how our player character is going to move, and I believe it should show us how the gunplay works. Yeah, right now at this point in time, I can't move or shoot. So this is kind of frustrating because the initial, hey, this is how we're gonna show you our game is gonna play like, it's not currently working. Um, Next thing is I'm pressing escape right now, but the menu will not come up like it would in the if I was playing through a round right now. I believe I've pressed manual, quit. There I go. Now it comes up. But then on the other hand, I'm not able to click into my settings. I can click into the game manual here, but it should be working here as well. Pressing clear, not pressing, trying to click on resume is not working. So that's frustrating. Um, let's see. Um, the other thing here is I know it's a demo, but I would like to see a codex of the abilities of both the upgrades that you can buy and like the one-offs of the ones you get like Michael Bay, the director and such that you're able to go in. Me as a player evaluating your game from a demo perspective is able to go in and see what you have and what it does. Uh, so it's always kind of frustrating to me when these come out and they're missing a codex of abilities or units and so forth. So that's part of what I disliked. Rewarding and enjoyable. So it might be a bit of a bug, but being able to buy so many upgrades at the end of a round, like I said during one of the playthroughs, I had like 900 tickets, and so if I bought each of the three that was available to me, it would auto repopulate, which is it's nice. If I buy everything, it rewards me for buying everything and it repopulates. But then on the other hand, I also think that that might be a bug. I don't that might not be a, allowed, which I can find that understandable. But at this point in time, like if that is a feature, like it's a nice feature to buy everything and have it auto repopulate with I would put in one condition that it happens once. So if I buy the first three, it auto repopulates three more for me. But even if I would buy the second three after that, then I would have to like pay to repopulate it. Rewarding. The challenges you had in there. Um, so I would put in a delay when the happens because I would load into the level. I would be looking at that like, all right, what is my challenges? Oh shoot, the round just started. I couldn't read through what I'm supposed to do. So I would put in a a a, a delay or maybe a screen that you have to click on to pop through it that it would bring up, hey, this is the challenge. All right, click. I acknowledge the challenge. The level starts. Secondly, uh, also make it a menu option to where you can turn off having that screen pop up and letting you read it. So maybe once someone gets to some point in their build when the game releases, that they are able just to sit in one spot, not move, and they can just farm and let it go to where they would want that pop up to not come up because they got to sit there and press it when they're just able to sit there and farm. So I would put in a option for that. Um, Rewarding and enjoyable. So combat did feel good, minus the jankiness of bullet spread. Uh, Being able, so seeing the all of the abilities you bought up top was also pretty rewarding. I think at one point I had like 12, which that's super nice to see, even in such a short demo that I was able to get so much progress there. Uh, let's see, anything else? Yeah, I'll say that's about it for that part. How would you suggest us to improve for future updates? Um, Improvement. So, fixing the stuff that I've already stated. Let's see. What could really be improved? See, it's super hard to suggest this when I have such a limited pool to play from. Like more like the obvious, more abilities that you can buy, different guns that you can take in, different roles besides trap and the freeze. Uh, like the the at this point in time, if this was a beta to whereas like find 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 stuff before the game releases in a month or something to where it was more complete. It's hard to say like what this game needs when I can't access the majority of it to give a true this is what it needs, this is what needs to be changed. It's hard to really say this. Um, but if I had to pinpoint one thing, it's change the pattern for the bullet spread. Change it so it's consistent. If I fire once, I'm going to get that same consistency every time I fire down the line. Um, Title review updates. All right, well, that brings it. That was the last one of the review that you wanted. So at that, I'll come to a close. Um, for I enjoy playing bullet hells every now and then. Graphics aren't over the top. They're a nice simplistic. I see what I need to. Gunplay is there. The abilities are there. The difference in guns that you can bring in compared. Excuse me. You call them props the props that you're able to bring in and the roles that is just going to expand as the whole game releases uh but very solid game, great foundation, keep up the hard work.